Getting lads, it's time to talk about Mexico versus Brazil. After we did our preview, predictions, and reaction video to Mexico Uruguay a few days ago,
Oh
Mexican fans,
boy.
I'm gonna say is be scared, and we're gonna talk about it here as to why. I
Question.
got a lot of reports, I got a lot of news, but it's time for Mexico to shake in their boots a little bit. Okay, Mexico set to play Brazil on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I don't know if it's gonna be a good game. It might be a fun game to watch. It just depends on what side you're on.
Damn. But right, you're right.
But if you didn't know, if this is your first time delving into Mexican football ahead of Copa America, they did just lose 4-0 to Uruguay. They looked terrible, probably their worst performance since Chile back in 16. And
Ooh,
a
I
lot
don't
of
know
news.
about that one. I would say like anytime they played the United States is pretty embarrassing. I'm not
That's
gonna
fair.
lie.
That's fair. Yeah, Mexico looked poor though, and honestly, Brazil, it's gonna look. It might look even worse. Brazil is apparently set to play their B team, and even then, I'm still worried for Mexico. No, I'm still worried for Mexico.
We might have a chance of a draw now. Come on now.
I don't know.
Come
I
on
don't know.
now.
I don't know.
No, because if it was, let's be real, if it was a question of their A team, it's the question of how many
Mm,
goals is Brazil going to score? That's the
mm,
question. If it was their A team, but if the reports are true and Brazil has mercy on their B team,
mm.
could be a
See,
little
but
bit different. The only reason why they're playing
even
their B
then.
team is because the game is so close. Like, you know what I mean?
True, it's true. Well, the report actually is that Brazil will play their B team against Mexico, and then they're going to play their A team against the USA in a few days. So if that doesn't say
Cheers,
enough
mate.
about the state of CONCACAF right now, it should. But a few things for this upcoming game that I
You
feel like
love
you all
this.
should
I
know.
know you love this shit. You
It's a good
love
time.
this.
It's a good time. A few things you guys all should know going into this game. Malagon is out for 3 to 4 weeks. It is highly likely that he will miss the entirety of Copa America. It seems like Carlos Acevedo is going to replace him in the squad. So it looks like Malagon's going to be out of the squad completely. The rumor was Acevedo or Memo, but apparently they went with Carlito. Also for this game, Santi Gimenez and Julian Quinones apparently will be starting.
Oh, no
That's
way.
that's apparently a guarantee. So
I
it,
wonder
you know,
why. It's to save his job
something,
or something.
yeah, something a little bit. I know for real. Speaking of, the rumor is it's not confirmed. Mexico did kind of deny this, but apparently Jimmy Lozano has been given an ultimatum. If he loses this game or draws, if he doesn't win, it seems like he's going to resign on his own will. After this game or after the Copa America, I'm not too sure. But then Mexico did come out and say that Jimmy Lozano will be the manager for the entirety of the Copa America. So we'll see what happens there. Either way, though, it's not looking good for Jimmy Lozano. I think this might be his last summer with the Mexico national team here. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, at least for Mexico. Brazil's going to be fun to see their B team players. Like, I will not be surprised if Endrick gets some game time. I really want to see Endrick play against the Mexico side. He's going to look really good. Yeah, it's not looking fun. It's not looking fun for Mexico. So let's get into the player side of it, Andres. Is there any player on Mexico side that you want to see here? I mean, initially for me, it's whoever they put in net, which is
Yeah,
probably Carlos Acevedo.
dude. Honestly, okay. Whatever happened with Memo in terms of the way he handled the situation, not being called up, yada yada yada. Because I've heard he didn't handle the situation very well compared to Chucky Lozano. He posted stuff on Twitter saying like thank you and like he wanted look forward for the future of Mexico, all that jazz. Very
Humility.
I think it should have been Ochoa just because like we saw what happened with Rangel. Shaky at best. I know it was his debut. I said this in my reaction video, but shaky at best. And in terms of keepers, the sole responsibility, one of the responsibilities of keeper is to settle the team down when it's shaky. And when you're giving distribution away that shouldn't to going out of bounds, loose passes, it doesn't help the team settle down at all. And even his saves a little shaky. He didn't seem too confident in what he was doing. 100%. That could be nerves. I'm not saying he's a trash keeper. I'm just saying he's just the nerves got to him on the day. But it's only going to be bigger stakes in the Copa America, especially in this group stage, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mexico, especially depending on how this Brazil result goes. This game, the result of the game, there's going to be even more pressure on this team to advance out of the group. So every single game is going to matter going into this tournament. But my eyes are on the goalkeeping situation. Honestly, I would hope we see two different keepers in this game. I think we've seen enough of Rangel. But I think we need to put in the other two because first half, second half. It's only a friendly. It's not to bash the confidence of the other team, no
Yeah.
matter how they do. It's literally just to see what we can. It's a friendly at the end of the day. But I'm looking forward to the keeping situation. I would say defense, but it seems like it doesn't fucking matter who plays in the defense because
No.
they're all shit.
No.
Especially they got everyone. I was really hoping for Arteaga to actually do good. I said that in our preview for the Uruguay game.
Yeah.
And they made him look silly. They made him look slow. They made him look like a numpty, basically, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him. But I don't care who's in the back line. It's going to be the same result. I do want Edson Alvarez, if he does play against Brazil. I don't know why he wouldn't, but I do want him as center back. It's
center back, really?
He played center back towards the end of the game for Uruguay against Uruguay because our center backs couldn't keep up with anybody. So he was somehow he was the fastest one to keep up with them, or like was smart enough to like not lunge in at random tackles and get beat. So I think going forward for now, I think Edson, that's hot take. Edson Alvarez plays center back for Mexico just to help the line a little bit. And then I think we have a little bit like better players in the midfield to help with that. Because Edson can like go forward. He can go forward, make those driving runs through the midfield. But like I just think defensively he's better. We need his help in that center back position. That's just me. So I'm hoping that happens. Just
I feel like there's it just brings more issues with that for me. Like, yes, Edson moves back to center back, and honestly, it's probably fine. Honestly, you might concede a little bit less in that matter, but as a result, though, the midfield just gets so much weaker. I mean, the midfield already looked terrible in that game versus Uruguay. Uruguay was playing through them like it was nothing, and Edson, like, he didn't look great either, to be fair, but he tends to be the bright spot in defense.
When you're getting picked apart like that, it's hard when it's a 1v3 in the midfield every single time.
Honestly, though, against Brazil, like yes, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose 4-0 like you did against Uruguay, but I feel like it's their last game against. Or it's the last game before Copa America. I do feel like you should almost play just how you want to play in the Copa America. Like, because you're not going to be playing Brazil every game. It's like you are going to be on the front foot here and there. At least you should be. I wouldn't sit back. I wouldn't put Edson back just because you should. If you put him back here, then you kind of expect to play him in the back for the whole Copa America, in my opinion. And I don't think you should be doing that, at least against the weaker teams. Like, I think he should be playing a little bit more in that midfield just to practice the midfield a little bit better, because obviously the midfield has a lot of problems working with each other. Yeah, it's just not working that last game. Give him a little bit more opportunity in a game sense to work together as a unit, and if you don't, then I feel like it's going to be a lot harder in the Copa America to get that back.
I get that. I'm just literally just from a defensive standpoint. We need someone like I know. Yes, Cesar Montes and Johan Vasquez weren't played, but come on now, like they're not. They're
not
decent,
doing nothing.
but they're not doing anything. Like I remember for the longest time they were talking about like, oh, they kept so many clean sheets against two. Like let's be real. Like when we played good teams, like I'm gonna hate saying this, like the USA, they look like shit. So it was like when we played the good teams, they look like shit. When we play the lesser teams, they don't look like shit. Yeah, I just want the confidence back a little bit, especially with the young keepers who are literally making their Mexican national team debut. I think having that calm will help not only the keeper but also the defensive line a little bit. That's just my mindset is not to concede so many goals. I don't know. I feel like it's a way the Mexican team could move going forward until we develop something. That's just my opinion, one man's opinion. But also, I'm excited to see Santi Gimenez up top. If it is the reports are true that he's starting, I'm excited
for that.
I just want to see what he can do in hold-up play. Purely because the amount of times in that Uruguay game, we just sent it forward and hoped someone would get on the end of it, and it was the most frustrating thing ever. It looked like we were playing ASO ball out here, just playing it down the channel and hoping for the best.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to Santi Gimenez. I'm hoping for a strong lineup. I just hope he's not the only player up top, and then they're like, oh, we played him. He didn't do great because no one was supporting him, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, they did say apparently the reporters Gimenez is going to play on that left wing side. I'm curious to see if they're going to play on the right wing side, but he'll have help if they know how to play football that day. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But something that excites me.
I think the biggest problem, I'm going to shout out my grandpa right now. He said this when the U.S. team was struggling. He was like, he would watch the games and he'd be like, this team cannot control the ball, like on a one touch basis. And now they can. Obviously, they gotten better.
Right.
They're able to. Now it's being applied to Mexico. I'm going to apply to Mexico. They cannot take an actual valid touch one time. I kid you not, the amount of times I saw us lose the ball somehow because we had a humongous touch or they couldn't control it and it just went out of play. That's our issue right now. Is we're struggling to do the basics, just the basics, the fundamentals, and that's it goes down to coaching, but also just goes down to the individual of the players and the quality. And so I'm hoping against Brazil, I hope it's our best squad possible. It's going to be embarrassing if we get smacked because it's going to have no hope going forward.
Yeah, especially against a possible Brazil B team.
Yeah, but like I want our best team just to give us some hope, just to see what happened, especially the players just playing together. But I like Gimenez on the left. I hope Vega plays on the right because I called it. If anyone saw the preview, I called it. What he was going to do. He played for like 15 minutes, but he did exactly what I said he was going to do every single time. Yeah. I wasn't even shocked. I was like, oh, there, he did it again. I was like, wow, shocker there. But I hope I see Vega on the right. I think the interplay situation of any team that does an interplay situation with their wingers and their striker in which they interplay and change, I always think that's helpful because it adds a new perspective each time, especially for the defense as it sees what works and what doesn't. So yeah, I hope that can happen. I don't know if Santi can really play on the wing, but I'm sure he can do a little bit. But yeah, I'm looking for the attack just for the sake of hoping something can happen. You know the little thing where it's like the little stick guy is poking something. And he's like, "Come on, do something."
Of course.
That poster right here. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping the attack does. It conjures a goal scoring chance created by themselves, not Brazil, like they did against Uruguay. I hope it's a creative thing. Oh man, bro, I just miss prime Mexico when we could create chances like nothing. It was kind of like it was great to watch.
When it was something, it was fun to watch. Yeah, there was some hope.
Giovanni Dos Santos, bam, paste it right there in the video. Just that
Giovanni
moment.
Dos Santos. For me, like, I'm gonna seriously look at the midfield here for Mexico. Like I just talked about it. Mexico the midfield looked horrible against Uruguay. It looked terrible. They were not doing anything for either the attack or the defense.
Chasing shadows.
Yeah, Uruguay did what they wanted to do in the midfield. Like I don't know if it was the second or third goal, but
no, I think it was the third one. It literally both our midfielders were like, "Nah, bro."
Yeah, they
went straight to the
right wing, crossed it in. Yeah, it was so easy.
It was the same movement for all 4 goals. It's the same movement of the tactical play. It was pass in, pass out, down the wing, cross it back. Because they're all tap-ins if you really think about it.
Yeah, but like well-deserved tap-ins.
Yeah, I'm not taking away the build-up play. It was great, but I'm saying it was so easy that it was like it was disgusting.
They're right next to the goal. Yeah, 100%. And that's like Brazil's midfield that they called up. I'm gonna name their 6 players in the midfield they called up. Ederson from Atalanta is probably the weakest name on this list, but then I go to João Gomes from Wolves, Bruno Gimenez from Newcastle, Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa, Andres Pereira from Fulham, and Lucas Paqueta from West Ham. Any combination of those players are better than Mexico's midfield. So that's why I'm really interested to see if Jaime Lozano can switch up the midfield play just a little bit to counteract the quality that Brazil has. Because player quality wise individually, it's not going to be better. You're not going to have a better midfield at all. So there has to be a different style of play. And if Jimmy can do that, fair dues. Do I have faith he's going to do that or confidence? Not one bit. Not one bit.
Shit, man. Bro, stubborn as hell. I can't believe he didn't make any subs at halftime. That was shocking to me. Anyways, I mean, it just confirms he's a stubborn guy. But
he's just a stubborn guy. And he sticks to what he knows. But what he knows against these kind of opponents is just not much. It's just not here for him. So Brazil is it's that one last test for Mexico ahead of Copa America. I think they're gonna fail it.
Bro, why do we pick hard teams, dog? Why can't we pick like shit teams that could build up the confidence and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna do great, and then
it's so like it's. I'd pick it in between, like Canada. Okay, let's look at Canada. They played Netherlands and France. Like, yes, they put top of the line opponents there in anticipation of Copa America. It's not going to look good. Obviously, Jesse Marsh is not going to play defensive against those teams. He's going to try to implement a system and end at 4-0. That's fine. It's okay. No one's really mad about that because first game as manager, we get it. When Mexico does it, though, it's just like shameful. Just because the expectations of fans around the world, especially Mexican fans, are that Mexico will do something because they've done something for most of our lives, So here against Brazil, Uruguay, like it should have been a good test, and then the squadless came out. not there. It's just, yeah. I mean, give me. Let's just go move on to the score predictions, Andres. Like, give me a realistic score. How this is going to end?
Oh,
I don't see
realistic.
it
You want
ending.
realistic?
Realistic.
I'm gonna go. Oof. The last time we beat Brazil was like in 1991. That's crazy.
No way.
1999. Sorry. In the Confederations Cup final. Damn. But yeah. It's not looking good. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. It's their
your score
B team.
prediction then.
Oh,
your score
yeah.
prediction.
Ooh. Sorry, I was off topic there.
It's okay.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a loss to Mexico, but I don't want to say that. So I'm gonna
I'll
go.
say it. It's gonna be 3-1 Brazil for me.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna go. Fuck, we can't even score. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brazil.
2-1 Brazil.
Santi scores a pen.
Yeah,
in the 80th minute.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like Mexico's gonna get like some like shit goal.
Oh, it's gonna be a shite goal. It's gonna be a scramble in the box. It's gonna be a bad ball.
It's gonna be lucky to have fallen in.
Santi though is gonna be there, and it's gonna be amazing, and everyone's gonna celebrate. Wow. And then we'll be like, Santi.
He's dreaming. He's dreaming. He's fantasizing right now. Look at him.
Bro, I believe in you, Santi. Everyone does, except Jimmy, apparently. So, you know.
My issue, though, is, like, I believe in Santi 100%. I don't believe in the ball getting to Santi. That's my issue.
That's true. He's so, bro, think about that Gold Cup final that we somehow only won 1-0. That just shows the state of it. But, like, think about that. That turn was, like, amazing in the sense of, like, turn. It's all he needs. He just needs that one moment, but he just needs the ball. Like, he needs the ball to do something, but he also needs support. Like, I'm just scared we're just gonna kick it up to him and like be like, come on, man, do something. Like, I hope that doesn't happen. But
I mean, honestly, that's probably the most logical game plan here, because there's not going to be no tiki taka. I don't even know. Like Mexico honestly does very good with possession wise. Like, they do tend to keep a higher possession than their opponents. I don't even know that's going to happen here. And even if it does, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's not going to do anything for Mexico.
If we can get a draw, I'll be really happy with that.
I think a draw would change a lot of minds. Depends
That's
on
crazy,
how Brazil plays, of course.
That statement's so mad nowadays.
I mean, this is where we're at. This is where we're at for Mexico. Let's be honest.
Hey, we're going into this is like a boxing fight when it's the underdog. We're just hoping we can escape. All the rounds. We're just hoping. Yeah, we're just hoping to get to a decision. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, I mean. After the game against Uruguay, Marcelo Bielsa, Uruguay manager, said that he thinks Mexico should have taken the game more seriously, and I really hope they turn it around here. I mean,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong. The lineup was not. Our lineup was a B team tier, but I was hoping they would do something.
Try,
but I was just trying to see certain players, but that was just shambles. I really would. It would have saved it if he made all the changes at halftime and put, because it's a friendly, we get unlimited subs. You can literally just change the whole lineup. I would have been okay with that. I've been like, all right, fine. Now it's game on. But it wouldn't have been game on. We were fucking 2-0 down. It wouldn't have mattered.
I really hope they take it seriously here, and I'm really excited to see what the lineup looks like for Mexico going into this game, because they should take it seriously. If the guy that just beat you 4-0 tells you should take it more seriously. Who am I gonna trust more?
Bro, if I see fucking Bielsa. Martinez up top, I swear to God.
I mean, they say Santi's starting. That's the report. So let's hope.
They're right. It's gonna be Martinez, bro. Don't worry.
I really enjoy the Santi Gimenez, and I really enjoy the Julian Gimenez on the left side too. For me, Julian Gimenez is one of the top wingers on that squad, and he should be given more game time just because he does more. Quality wise, other players might be better or might do better club wise, but Gimenez, I think he just provides more that the Mexican team needs.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, we see so little of him that you're like, oh, he could be good, or he has those moments, you know. Mm-hmm. We haven't. It's not consistent enough. Same thing with Santi. Is I said this in the reaction. I was like, Santi in theory is the best player on this team, but I had no idea because Edson Alvarez at the moment is the best player on this team because he plays the most. Santi probably doesn't.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault. But I'm just saying,
it's Jimmy's fault.
It's Jimmy's fault. But the fact is, I don't know if he's just going to be a Raul Jimenez who plays well for the club, but not for country. But far, when I've seen, Santi isn't Raul. He's more like a Chicha. But and not comparing
I see a mix in between.
No, I'm just saying, in terms of quality, like Chicha performed for the Nationals. I'm saying like that. They're two different strikers. You can't compare them. Yeah, I'm just hoping for something good to happen, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I feel like a little note on Julian Quinones too, in my opinion. Like a big reason that I could see that he brings a lot to this team is because he was not raised through Mexican football. He has just different ideals. He was trained differently. He was brought up differently in terms of how to play football, and that adds a lot to the Mexican team. And that also is a little comment on how Mexico plays. Um, it's this is deeper than just this game, but obviously we know the state of Mexican football in general, not just this team, is poor right now, and I feel like that's showing as well amongst the national team. That's very highly showing. I think last game they started I think it was one or two players that didn't play in Mexico. It was a mostly domestic Mexico squad.
Yeah,
ransacked.
I mean,
And that's enough. That's enough for I mean, at least for me, if I was part of the Mexico front office, so Mexico Football Federation, that's enough to show me that something needs to change. But obviously, not going to change. It's deeper than just.
I mean, think
flicking
about
the switch.
like I'm gonna bring back to the glory days. Like think about like Giovanni. Like he was special on the ball, but like think about where he was at the time he was special. Like he wasn't in Mexico. He was in Barcelona. He was in the Tottenham, and Barcelona. Like
yes,
different gravy over there. I can't believe I'm saying that about Tottenham, but they were good at the time.
Well, but it is. I mean, compared to Liga MX.
But like he brought something special. It wasn't like specifically Mexican football because he was in different cultures, trained differently, all that jazz. But I'm just hoping some more flair. I think Quinones can add that to the squad if we can consistently get game time. I don't know. I like him so far. I got no problems with him until he does something stupid. As long as he doesn't do a shoulder shrug, and then he goes shoulder dip and then cuts it back and then just crosses it for no reason, then I don't got a problem with him. The moment he does that, it's over for him.
Let's analyze some of these players in this team, and I'm gonna tell you, like I'm gonna mention the best players in the team that people, when you think of the Mexico national team, you think of, and then you tell me the difference between the rest of the players. Okay, Santi Gimenez,
class,
right? Okay, Edson Alvarez,
class.
Okay, Jorge Sanchez. I mean, he's still he's quality. He's still quality somewhat, but compared to the rest of the team,
okay.
Chucky,
decent on the day.
Kind of Quinones up until recently.
Yeah,
obviously because of this game. Every single player bar Quinones, but he grew up in Colombia. He plays for Copa America. Everyone doesn't play in Mexico. The best players on this team don't play in Mexico. That's enough for me here. I mean, and to me, just that alone needs to tell you to stop focusing on Liga MX. It's Mexico and the USA just completely switched. It's like the American political system, the party switch, like years ago. It's just completely different ideologies switch under the same title.
Well, one would argue Liga MX is better.
Yeah, and that's fine. You can argue all you want.
But the thing is,
the issue is though is that they're focusing too much on the league that doesn't produce enough.
But I'm saying, like, even back then, like when we were good, like a lot of our players did play in the Liga MX. Like if you really think about it, like our whole defensive line was in the Liga MX, except for like Rafa Marquez, of course. So like that, he's different gravy. Like he's like an outlier. But like the majority, I would say like 60% of the squad played in the Liga MX, and then the rest, like of course, like you had your Chicha, Carlos Vela, all those Andres Guardado, all those guys, played elsewhere. But like it's just, I think they've come too complacent with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of just like, okay, we're cool. Like there's no passion in it anymore. Like if you look back, I'm going on a rant now. If you look back on like the 2014 squad and like the way they was close knit, it looks nothing like that. And now, like you don't see those type of videos of those guys just messing around with each other, having a great time, great friends. Now it's kind of like
also is as a result of that also is a result of just not being together for long with his younger team. But still, yes, it's like.
But a lot of these players have though. Like if you really think about it, like Vega, like a lot of these players were together in the Olympic squad back in the last Olympics.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah,
and vice versa. So like Edson Alvarez has been part of the squad for a long time. That's why he's the captain. You could argue goalkeeper, different story, but still, a lot of these players, a lot of the goalkeepers have been a part of the squad, just haven't played. The only situation you could do is Santi and Quinones. Literally everyone else should have had enough game time. They played a whole World Cup together. Like think about that. They played a whole World Cup together. So like honestly, I don't see that as you can use an excuse. It's not like they only see each other. They can hang out and do whatever. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's just
Well,
It's not
like
the
my
same.
issue, like in comparison with the USA, right? Only up until past 3-4 years was it majority MLS, and that was a conscious choice by the U.S. Football Federation um, to decide that just to grow the league more so than the team, which was the issue. Now, since then, they realized we could do something with dual nationals and players playing abroad. So I think last call up, there was only 2 MLS players. Whatever, great. Um, Liga MX was a similar thing earlier, within the past couple decades, where they could play the Liga MX good enough to beat USA, a fair amount of good world international teams. Yes. The difference is though is that the USA knew when to change. The USA knew when to focus on not the MLS. Mexico is just complacent with Liga MX.
Yep.
There are some great players. It's not the same Liga MX as it was 10 years ago. Yes, Liga MX is definitely still better than the USA. But if that's your only focus, then like no crap, you're going to be losing 4-0 to Uruguay, The USA conceded that it's for a while it was USA versus Mexico, and then that was it. The USA realized that they could do way more with the Nations League, with Copa America, with the World Cup, whatnot. Mexico, it's still just, well, we're trying to beat the USA, and now they can't even do that. And look at where they are now. That's my issue here. And then obviously we could tell with the teams called up, it's majority Liga MX. The teams are playing as Liga MX, and obviously it's unfortunately a way deeper story than just deciding to play Liga MX. There's way more that goes into it, money wise and TV rights wise and whatnot. But
yeah,
it's just depressing. I mean,
if you really think about it, it's a corrupt system over in Mexico.
It's a highly corrupt system.
But
yes.
like at the same time, it's like, like it's also down to the players. Some of these players don't want to leave because they're comfortable at home. And like I understand being close to your family. Like I don't want to like smack talk these players because like I understand it's personal reasons. But I'm just saying like in terms of getting better and like if you're gonna complain in an interview, it's on you too. Like it's not like you're part of the reason why we're struggling here. Like you don't want to leave, or you're asking for too much money. Like it's like let's be realistic here. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So luckily I won't have to watch all of it. So it'll be nice. But I'll make sure I'll watch some of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch second half, and then if you guys want a game reaction, like let us know in the comments down below or by liking the video, because we absolutely would do a reaction. I just did one for the last game, and it went down pretty well. So yeah, and you know what? Yeah, it's probably gonna be the same exact video, except with 2 of us here. It's gonna be the same emotion behind it. But if that interests you, make sure to click onto it, or let us know that you want it. I think that's all we have. We have a lot of Copa America content coming up pretty soon. If you guys want more Mexico focused content, we'll happily do it. I was thinking of doing after this game too in a few days what Mexico looks like after what Mexico looks like ahead of the Copa America. That's gonna be a fun video to make too. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of opinions on that as well. So if that interests you, make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure to turn notifications on for the channel so you get to be one of the first people to watch that and give us your opinions. We read every single comment we get, guys. So make sure to watch videos to watch our video on that as well. Otherwise, unless you got anything, I think we're just gonna send them off.
Yep. See you guys.
Make sure to watch the Mexico game 6 p.m. Saturday, and we'll see you guys after or way beyond that. Or just don't.
Just watch our video.
Just don't watch it.
Just watch ours.
There you go. That's all we need. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.